Education is power, and being educated allows you to prepare yourself. Education about breast cancer and understanding the stigmatism around it, understanding how to perform self exams, understanding cancer, period. It allows you to make preparation. It empowers you and it gives you a leg up. It makes you proactive. And understanding and being educated also helps with research and funding and all things such as that. And that is what we are committed to here at Next Level. We want to empower you, equip you, and educate you with the tools that you need to help you be prepared for any circumstance in life. And so tonight I have the privilege of being joined by a registered nurse with the VA hospital who is also a returning guest to come and educate us on breast cancer, how to perform self-exams, how to help you be proactive and take power and control of your life. I want to welcome back Amy Sims. Hey, Amy.
Hello. Hello.
How are you this evening?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
The last time you was here,
Yes.
you were a guest telling your story.
Yes.
And tonight you are here in an education, role.
Yes.
Can you tell our audience just a little bit about you and your background and exactly what it is that you do and why you became a nurse?
I became a nurse. Okay. I became a nurse. It was my mother's idea. My mother's idea. She said, you would be a good nurse. So I took that idea on and actually embraced it.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in high school, we had an opportunity to work at a hospital, like half of school day, and learn different roles in the hospital, in the medical field. And I fell in love with it. So I was like, oh, I'm going to be a nurse one day. I think I'll really like that. And I love serving people.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my love languages is to serve. So it was a great fit for me.
So tell me a little bit about your medical background.
From Texas University.
Mm-hmm.
And my nursing, I went into nursing after I got my community health degree first. And I got that from El Centro College here in Dallas, downtown Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I was originally a aide first. So I started nursing from the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a nurse's aide for a couple of years. And then I became a nurse. And I was a nurse. Now I've been a nurse now for over 13 years. When I first became a nurse, I was doing home health nursing and I was working in the nursing home in geriatrics. But these last 7 years, I have had the privilege of working at the Veterans Affairs Hospital, the VA hospital here in I really, really do enjoy working with my veterans.
And you said that you are working on a second degree.
Yes, yes. So I am a nurse. I'm a licensed practicing nurse, and I'm getting my bachelor's of nursing. I'll be getting that here in the next year. I have my second degree.
Congratulations. Okay, so one of the things that you do at the VA hospital is you are in charge of educating not just the workers there, but other patients and everybody on the importance of breast cancer and check-in and all of those different. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so as a nurse, that's a part of the job. We are health educators.
Okay.
We do have to help educate our veterans or our patients on different their diagnosis that they have, medications that they receive, the treatments that they have to have, and nutrition. Sometimes we do have a nutritionist and a other people to help educate, but the nurse, we do help with a lot of the educating our patients a lot.
So answer me this: how important is educating patients on different sicknesses?
It makes the biggest difference in a patient's overall health care on themselves. The more that they know about their condition, the better they can take care of themselves.
Okay.
And it's just an overall outcome is way better than a patient that doesn't really, they don't want to know, or they don't want to get educated, and they're always asking questions. I don't know why this is happening or why this is happening. But if you educate yourself, it's just a smoother process on different diagnoses and treatment plans. Yeah.
Okay. So one of the pillars here at Next Level is awareness. Brought Amy on so that she can educate you, so that she can help you to understand different aspects of breast cancer, how to do self-exams, and just obtain general basic knowledge, because knowledge removes fear. Knowledge removes the unknown. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to turn it over to Amy, and she is going to educate us on tonight about breast cancer and things that we can do at home and just every day, and questions we can ask our doctors so that we can be proactive in our own lives and work towards maintenance so that we can understand early detection and help with not just ourselves, but with our family members in fighting this disease. So Amy, why don't you take it over?
And the presentation is information that I have the opportunity to present every year at the clinic that I work at. My boss, she lets me be creative, and I get to do a breast cancer board and a table and give out goodies to our veterans every year for Breast Cancer Month. So the presentation is just breast cancer awareness. It's just I would say basic information about the disease process. So we start off with what is breast cancer. Breast cancer be detected in the breast lobes, the ducts, the nipple, the areola, under the armpits, and lymph nodes. So it's many different types of breast cancer and different locations where you can find it. On the next slide, with a few statistics of this disease. In America, it's about 240,000 women that are going to be diagnosed with breast cancer. So that's about 1 out of 8 women a year. That's a low number. But about 4% of that number is women that's under younger age women, so women under the age of 40. So usually the age of 40 is the age that we kind of flag our patients chart. Okay, this is the when you turn 40, that's the year that you want to go ahead and start getting your mammograms. All right. Some risk factors that that we need to know about with breast cancer is you have an older age. That's something that we have more cases in the older age, like I just said. Genetics. So if you have family members that have had breast cancer before, reproductive history. Sometimes if you have had you've had your children later in age, or you also were taking maybe hormones over time, that also can put you at a greater risk. If you have dense breasts, that's also a risk. Dense breast, yes.
I said I wasn't going to interrupt you at all, but what exactly is a dense breast?
Breast tissue, it's not, so when you feel it's a little bit firmer tissue.
Okay.
Yeah. when you do your breast exams and you do your mammograms, it'll be detected that your tissue is just a little bit firmer, yeah, than normal breast tissue. Because, it's just fat, right? It's supposed to be kind of squishy. I know I hate to say that word like that, but you know what I'm trying to say. Yes. Okay. All right. So if the family history of breast cancer, if radiation treatment, so if you had any radiation treatment of any kind within your past, that's also putting you at risk. Drinking alcohol and being overweight is also another risk factor. Okay. Next on our presentation here. Signs and symptoms of breast cancer. These are very important. So every month when you do your monthly checks, you're kind of looking for some of these signs and symptoms. You're looking for lumps in your breast. You're looking for any discoloration. You're looking for any pain. Your skin is irritated. If your nipples are not in the right place, or if they're kind of inside or going inside your nipple, inside your breast, you're looking for the shape of your breasts. Are they even? And like I said, if you're looking for any pain, and you also want to look under your armpit just to make sure that there's nothing discoloration or any pain or anything abnormal under your armpits as well. So how is breast cancer diagnosed? So let's say you did do a self-breast exam or you did do a mammogram and it was detected. We got a lump. So the first thing is doing a diagnostic mammogram. So we're going to do a screening mammogram first. So that's the annual mammogram that you do every year. It's a screening mammogram. So if you do get the lump, then we're going to do a diagnostic mammogram. So we're going to get more of a clearer picture of where that lump is, how big it is, where it's located exactly. After that, we're going to do an ultrasound on our breast. After the diagnostic ultrasound, after the diagnostic mammogram, then we're going to do the breast ultrasound. Then we're going to do, after that, a MRI on your breast. Then we would do a biopsy. So after we do the MRI, then we're going to remove the tissue and we will just see if that lump is benign or malignant for cancer. Okay. After we do our cancer getting diagnosis, then it's all the different treatments. So each breast cancer diagnosis has different we're trying to kill those cancer cells. Hormone therapy, it could be biological therapy and radiation. So those are the type of breast cancer treatments. So what can we do as women, and also men do get breast cancer as well? What can we do to reduce our risk of breast cancer? So we have to eat healthy. We need to make sure we maintain a good weight. We can't drink as much alcohol, unfortunately. And if you're taking contraceptives that have hormones in it, we want to, of course, speak to our doctor to make sure that these hormones that we're taking, especially if you're taking them for years and years and years at a time, we want to speak with our doctor to make sure that it's safe for us and we're not at risk for breast cancer. And if you're our ladies and we have children, we want to breastfeed. That does reduce your risk of breast cancer. Yes. And I think finally, yes, our last slide is, do men get breast cancer? The answer is yes. For women, men do get breast cancer as well. And that is my very small presentation.
Wow.
Yes, lots of information. So I know you probably remember all that.
Yes, you did. You just packed a lot of a lot of detailed, but very good information.
Okay.
On ways that we can be proactive and things that we can look for. And I'm going to I'm going to give the audience an opportunity to ask you some questions
Okay.
and dig more. And I myself want to dig more a little bit into some of the things that you said.
Okay.
But before, what we're going to do is we're going to bring on an actual breast cancer survivor who is here with us on tonight. But before we do that,
Okay.
I wanted to challenge you. I wanted to see if you could show us,
Okay.
just for anyone who doesn't know,
Okay.
sitting down, don't get up. Show us how to conduct a normal monthly, self-check breast exam.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so we want to do our monthly breast exams. We want to do it once a month. Our
Generally
ladies,
after our cycles.
we want to do it 3 to 5 days after our cycle.
Okay.
Yeah, so that way you can really feel the tissue. Shouldn't be anything abnormal there. So 3 to 5 days after your cycle begins, right? We wanna try to go to the shower and do our breast check. The first thing though we want to do before we get in the shower, we want to just stand in the mirror, just look at our breasts, make sure they're not abnormal with size. Everything looks pretty even. We want to look under our arms, make sure we don't see anything abnormal under our arms. We just want normal color, any lumps, anything that would not normally be there on your breast. Yeah. Okay. Just a visual. And then when we can go to the shower. We just say shower. That's a nice way to go in and place to do it because you're already, undressed. So in the shower, of course, we're going to, again, with our arms up on one side, and we're going to feel. And we want to do a light feel first. And we're just going around. Right? Now we're going up and down. We're going to go up and down. We're going to feel all that breast tissue. Make sure we don't feel anything lumps. And we want to make sure we feel under our arms. That nothing there is abnormal when we're under. And then we're going to, of course, go to our other side, do the same thing again, circle it. And we want to go ahead and lightly. And then after you do a light press, you can go ahead and do a firmer press. See if you feel anything abnormal. Any pain. You want to look at your nipples, and you do want to squeeze your nipples to make sure you don't have any discharge.
Any discharge in the nipple. Okay.
Yeah, because that's abnormal if you're not breastfeeding. So you want to do that as well. After we do the shower and we do the shower, do our checks, we've done our visual. We also want to just kind of lay down in the bed, and we also want to do the check again. Okay. Just to make sure. We want to do the same thing, do a circle, and then we want to go up and down and make sure we cover all that breast tissue. So we're going to do that once a month, a few days after our cycle. If we are not having cycles, we just want to do it once a month, same day. So the 1st of every month, 15th of every month, we want to do that breast check. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just this one question. Let's say I'm doing this check.
Okay.
And I find something.
Yes.
How quickly should I get in to see my doctor, or what should be the very next thing that I do?
I would schedule an appointment.
Okay.
Yeah, schedule an appointment with your primary care doctor, or even if you have your gynecologist. Go ahead and schedule an appointment as soon as possible.
Okay.
Because breast cancer can be aggressive. So you want to go ahead and get that checked right away. And go ahead and get your mammogram. Yeah. Okay. They'll order your mammogram. Of course, that's the next step. So as soon as possible.
Thank you, Amy, so much for all of that wonderful information. And again, like I said, I'm going to open it up to our audience shortly so that they can ask you some additional questions. Okay. And we can go further into this as we get ready to bring on our next guest, who will be joining us right after this. We are back, and I am excited to be joined on the couch by one of my really good friends, one of the most beautiful women that I know. I've known her for a very long time, and her disposition, her love for people, her love for the community is unbelievable. And the things that she does, and the way she so selfishly gives of herself. I want to introduce you all and welcome to our couch breast cancer survivor, Miss Althea. I call it Thea Harrington. Hey, Thea.
Hey, Shantae.
Thank you for joining us tonight.
I'm glad to be here. Thanks for the invite.
And what is so funny is, and I'm about to tell it just to kind of get you relaxed. Thea was so upset with me for inviting her because she actually is very shy, and she did not want to she did not want to be on the show, but she said she can't tell me no. So she's been upset with me, and it's okay. I'm okay with her being upset with me. But I do want to thank you for joining us on the show tonight. I want to thank you for saying yes, because you didn't have to. You know that you can always say no to me, but I appreciate you for saying yes and making yourself open and available to share your story.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about, because you recently was diagnosed with breast cancer and you've gone through the treatments and you've gotten a clean bill of health, but can you kind of walk us through how that all came about when you did the exam and found the lump, and just what that process looked like?
Okay. Yes. I actually do a lot of community work in the area I live in, which I grew up in West Dallas, and this was going to be the first year that I actually skipped my mammogram. I was getting ready to go to Jamaica, so I was like 2 months past due on my mammogram.
Really?
Another community leader, she was like, "Ian, come on, set an example. Come on, get your mammogram." And I'm like, okay, I'm leaving for Jamaica, but I end up going get my mammogram. They saw something, called me and had to do another, just like Amy said, and I went to Jamaica and came back from Jamaica, went to the mailbox on a Sunday, and it was tested. It was, they needed me to call her. They saw something. That morning, Monday morning, I was got the call while I was at home getting ready to go to work, like at 8-something in the morning, that it was cancer, but I got, news that it was spreaded. I was a stage 3 or 4 and it was spreaded everywhere, So just imagine. I was trying to hide it from my family, but at that time I didn't realize that, like, I might don't have, but they might need to know this. So I actually got it, actually was told, I was trying to skip my mammogram. This was going to be the first year I ever skipped a mammogram.
And all your prior mammograms had come back clearer.
Yes.
You've never had any problems. And how often did you do the monthly exams that Amy was talking about? Are you the person who does those consistently?
Well, yes, I do them, but not consistent. But my I didn't have a lump that I could feel, actually. I was caught very early stage, but I was just triple diagnosed with triple negative. So it's like different cancers. At the time I didn't know, but triple negative is one of the most aggressive cancers. So that treatment led to me getting treated with, with like a rough treatment. So, at the time I'm like comparing my situation to other people's situations. And that's when I learned, like, oh, I kind of felt like really surprised, kind of felt dumb that I didn't notice or do the research about the different, types of cancer, breast cancer. But, once I started, 'cause, some people don't have to have chemo, some people don't have to have surgery. So at the time here, I'm having to have surgery, chemo, and, radiation. So
because of the aggression of your cancer, or because you think that you didn't know, because of what you didn't know?
The triple negative.
Because of how aggressive it was.
Yes.
How did you determine once, and we're going to step back here in just a second, but how did you determine your treatment plan?
I worked with the doctor, but with the option of getting my my breast your stage, and everything. So that's not always the best thing to do, that I have saw. And then council groups, like even on Facebook, and I remember being up one night just praying, because a lot of people was in my area, like, make sure you get your breast, removed, that, everybody was trying to make the decision for me. But just one morning, like at 3 a.m, it was a group message, and someone posted something about, getting, the breast removed and how to counsel. I was gonna let them go in, and then that's the doctor also felt like that was a great decision for me, since it was an early stage, which it did cause me to take radiation, which I didn't want to take, but I really did feel like that was the best stage for me, procedure for me to do.
Let's go back to when you got those results, or when you got the phone call on Monday. What type of things, what was some of the things that immediately ran through your mind?
One thing I know for sure, if I hadn't already been sitting down, I would have probably collapsed and fainted.
Because it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, because I'm asking, and she was like, "Oh, it's a 3, possibly a 4. It's broken out back." It's just like, it was really bad. So the first thing I could do was I called a old coworker of mine, and he's like probably like 70 years old. I don't know why I called him, to let him know out of everyone first. Um, and then I decided at the moment that I had to tell my family, because I possibly, like, I don't know how long I'm gonna be here. It's a 3 or 4. And I called in to work too that morning. I was actually on my way out the door, and I called in to work. Yeah.
You are very spiritual. We go to church together.
Yes.
What was your relationship? What were your conversations with God in those in those early days when you first got the diagnosis?
Through the whole thing, my trust in God helped me, through the whole process. I'm being honest with you on that. My trust in God, in understanding life, to be honest, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was more than, I was prepared, whichever way direction it would have went, I was prepared, which had to make sure everything was prepared, because I had to make sure everything was, policies. I didn't know how much time I had, so I just wanted to make sure my mom's name wasn't on any insurance policy. Thoughts do come in your head like that, and making sure my family understand, y'all, this is life,
Yeah.
So that, the hardest part was telling my family, though.
Because you and you have 4 sisters. No,
Yes.
It's 4 of y'all.
Well, it's 4 of us total.
Yeah, it's 4 girls total, and y'all are very, very close, like
Yes.
like me and my family. And you have 1 daughter and 2 grandbabies, a Cookie. We calling her Cookie and AJ.
Yes.
Yeah, but your family is really big.
Yes.
And is really very, very close. And because I know you, I do know, and I've followed your journey and talk with you during your chemo and your radiation. One of the things that I truly love about you and your family is how you never went to any treatments by yourself. How important is having a family and that support system when you get this type of life-changing information?
It's very important, even through the doctor appointments. I had, sisters who I call, friends who I call sisters, and even family. It's just important, because even when I started the journey, I wasn't paying attention. Everything was going in one. It's definitely important, to have someone with you all the time.
So what kind of steps did you take to further educate yourself and understanding your level of cancer and things that you can do? Like, what type of things did you do to get more education and educate your family?
they have a great, great classes, group classes, everything. So I went to group classes. I actually went to like how to prepare meals, what I'm supposed to be eating, exercise class, and I also surrounded myself with other um, survivors or
Mm-hmm.
people that's fighting, and they all helped me out a lot and got into different groups. Added my family into different groups. And they saw stuff. So you know.
Okay. So, did you ever go through any bouts of depression?
Um, I think the hardest thing for me, the overwhelming of support from the community that I had. I mean, and seeing my family actually, like on holidays, I'm the one that's active and up, usually dancing, and we all having a good time. But I can tell it was hard on them when I'm actually like sitting down or laying down. So that was. But as far as depression, I think my what was supposed to be there. So, it was hard turning down everyone. I'm like, I have like four sisters, and I have one sister that was not trying to hear it at all. So that was like the most hard. So I mean, overall, I mean, I felt like my journey was even though I really can't say depressed. I was sick a lot,
Mm-hmm.
um, but I mean, I was sick. I really don't recall being depressed. I felt bad. I can tell my sister was worried about me. Even
Yeah.
family, friends, community. I mean, even you checked in up on me.
Did you ever try to hide any of your sickness and stuff from your family?
Oh, yes. For my grandkids, especially, but they come in the room and say, "Granny, especially AJ." So yeah, I mean, yeah, I did.
Let me ask you this: how has this experience? Because I mean, I know you, and you've been through so much. You've been through so much. One of the strongest, bravest people that I absolutely know.
Yes.
One of the reasons why I love you so much, and you're so active in the community, because I mean, I saw your community come together for you in ways that was just astounding, just giving back the love and the care that you have always given to others.
Yes.
How has this experience changed you, changed your
It just make me, be thankful. I'm just thankful for the community I grew up in, my friends, family. Because with I mean, I think about the support all the time. I was
Mhm.
telling my sister the other day, if I hit the lottery, how I want to, and it was a million people, took care of me. I mean, whether it was a text or a hug or how you doing, I mean, they showed me so much love. The
Mhm.
community, from my city councilman, from my boss. I mean, some of these people I'm really rough with. I bump heads with on a daily basis. I mean, but everyone showed me so much love. My pastor,
Yes.
my cousins. I mean, but I really do look at life in a different way, and I learned. I mean, from this, I'm very pick and choose what I say to people, like when it comes to death in
Mm.
counseling, which I overlook. I had family members get mad. A lot of people say, "Oh, my mama died from breast cancer." But one thing I do say, I always tell people, I just love saying, "You got this." I mean,
Mhm.
my first
Mhm.
cousin, she bought me this charm from James Avery, and I wore that all the time on my neck, and it stated, "You got this." And I remember my doctor always said, "I love that charm. You got this." And it made, like for me, I learned something that might seem petty, but a lot of people sent me, what's those cookies? What's those Tiffany cookies?
Uh-huh.
And oh yeah, I was so Tiffany treat. I mean, that's something me personally I wouldn't, and I'm thankful for everything, but that's just something I wouldn't send anyone. It's Tiffany treats. I had Tiffany treats getting delivered every day. So
Really?
yeah, and I just think for cancer, but someone's fighting cancer, it's just not the right, that's something I learned. Because I stopped opening, I had to donate it.
Giving it away.
I had to trash a lot of them too, but yeah.
So let me ask you this. The last time Amy was on the show, we were talking about identity, and she was talking about her hair and how her identity was tied to her hair. One of the things that you had to go through was the loss of your locks. How did that affect you?
I'm crying now. I'm sorry, but yeah, with the locks, that affected me. I mean, I had sister locks. I enjoyed my hair. I've been natural for years, so um, I remember actually going to see Patty the Bear with my councilman, and the wind was blowing, and my locks was like, kind of blowing out. I'm pretty sure he found a couple in his car, too. But the next morning, I looked and it was just like, I was just really holding on to them, and I remember crying. Everybody was like, "Why are you crying? You knowing they gonna come out anyway?" But yeah, that hurted me.
Well, I want to. We're going to take a quick break, and I want to pick back up with that, and I want to talk about that just a little bit more right after this message.
Okay.
Okay, we're back. So when we went to the commercial, we were talking a little bit about how your locks started coming out, and I cut you off, and I'm so sorry. So I do want to continue that, and how that affected how you saw yourself, if at all.
It was that was a hard part. The week of my birthday, so yes, it was
That
hard.
was the week of your birthday?
Yes, right before Christmas, the week of my birthday. Yes.
Oh.
So I think they had already been gone, just holding on, but with them being locks, it was like the look, not right there, kind of holding them on. So I lost a lot of them. So after coming back out at a concert, I woke up the next morning. A lot of them was in the bed, but the thing was that I had like a mohawk, like it was gone. So yes, I cried. Even though I was told that they would come out, but it was hurtful.
Because our hair is tied so close to our identity. What would you say to someone who is in this process right now, who's in the early stages of breast cancer or cancer generally, and they're having to lose their hair and different things like that? What would you say to them to give them hope and encouragement right now?
Just keep the trust in God. And one thing I would like to say about the hair too, even though I was hurt and everyone kept telling me to shave your head. I'm like, I'm not shaving my head. But once my head got shaved, that was so much release of stress, and my scalp, it was just so much release. And if I pray to God that I don't have to go through this again, but if I did have, was in a situation, I would have definitely shaved my head. I would shave my head.
That was one of the things, Amy, when you were on the show last and you were talking about it, when you shaved your hair, the release and the freedom that you experienced.
Yes, Correct.
And the power,
Yeah.
the power of doing it. And let's just be clear, you ladies you killed your ball. You killed it, and Amy kills hers.
Yes, she does.
So if y'all don't mind, what I want to do now is I want to open it up to our audience to ask you ladies some questions. I know, Amy, we probably have some questions to ask you from your presentation, but I do want to give the audience an opportunity to talk with us. So let me get in here. And so then this question is for you.
Yes.
How did having cancer change your goals and determination?
Well, as far as goals, I mean, basically, my goals are still the same. I do everything. I'm still a go-getter, but I mean, as far as the outcome of life, and which I always have treated people with so much respect. I have always done that, but I mean, I have learned a couple things for it. Like as far as questions I would say to a person, I'm very, even with death, I always have been, concerned on how I agree to say something to a person, So, I mean, as far as goals, everything still the same. I'm still doing exactly what I was doing before.
All right. Let me see here. Then this one is for you. Were you ever angry with God? And if so, what happened to where you had peace?
I was surprised. I never was angry because the thing is, I mean, I really couldn't get angry because, one thing I have learned in life, I had a beautician who died at age 40 from breast cancer. And, one thing that keeps me encouraged, I'm like, her son was only like 9 or something, or 16. My daughter was an adult. So I try to, look at things different. It's people who, like even with me, that gave me a better understanding of a lot of situations. Like some people didn't get to be with their mom this long, or, this person had cancer. Like even in groups, I'm with people that had, that are 16 with breast cancer. So, I can really honestly say that I was never angry. I was hurt though.
I was hurt by God.
I was definitely hurt. Never angry though.
So how did you reconcile that? Because that's interesting. Because most people say they're angry, and so your comment that you were hurt. How did you put that hurt aside and still be able to say, "But God, I trust you"? How did you get past that hurt?
The family and support. Once I really talked to my sisters and my daughter, the family. I mean, especially my sisters. And they were okay. We this is life. Everything it worked out. Fine.
How has your perspective on life's priorities and goals changed as a result of your experience with breast cancer?
One thing I can say, we kind of joke about my oldest sister always dancing and stuff on Facebook. One thing I can say is enjoy life. I mean, enjoy life. Don't worry about what no one say. Enjoy your life, and that's what I do every now and then. I get up and jump on a plane, do what I want to do, and now that even though they don't agree with it, now this year I'm taking trips alone. So yes,
really?
Like you should say.
I know. It is great, ain't it?
Yes.
Okay. Let me ask you this, and then I have a few questions. I have a few questions for you. Then, that you didn't know about yourself before you got this diagnosis and had to go through this situation?
Well, growing up, I was a bad child. And the thing that I have learned about myself,
Go ahead and cry if you want to, because you are loved.
Yep.
And you give out so much love. I have never met a person who, I mean, there are things that you do that people don't even know how you have a nonprofit that helps people with housing stabilization and different things. You give so much, and it's beautiful when when people can give back to you because you serve so much and you are truly loved.
Yes.
You are.
Wonderful.
And I love you. I love you so much. Get you a Kleenex. Amy, this is, and you know what? Our audience wants me to remind you that you are
They'll tell me their stories and their things that they're going through. And yeah, you can get emotionally attached real easy. Real easy. And it's kind of like, I'm sorry, the doctor's ready. You kind of have to keep it professional. Well, the doctor's ready for you, but you do take it on. You do. But you have to kind of like, okay, it's not my situation, but I'm very empathetic. And that's part of nursing. Yeah, that bedside manner. Yeah.
And it's interesting because both of you ladies are really big community activists, and you're in community health thing. You work with City Hall. You work with the West Dallas Chamber of Commerce. I think you are on the board of Board of Health. What is it?
They're just involved with the city of Dallas.
Just quite a few things. Both of you are very active in the community, and you see a lot of things. You're exposed to a lot of people and a lot of their hardships and a lot of their suffering. How does that change you as you go through your situations? How does their suffering help you as you go through the things that you go through? Amy, I'm gonna ask you answer it first.
It just makes for me, it makes me thankful about my life. It's like, oh Lord, they're going through something. You just in my mind praying for them while they're in the room with me. In my mind, because you're really not supposed to do that, not show religion or anything with our patients. So that's something I do on the side. Like when they leave the room, I'm like, Lord, please bless them and bless their situation. And but it makes me thankful for my life. It really does. Okay, thank you, Lord, for my healthy kids, and I can go home to them, and I'm not suffering like this. But it does. It can bring me.
It humbles you.
Yes, absolutely.
Miss Althea.
Repeat the question again. Yeah,
sorry.
I was just saying, all the things that you've been exposed to people and the things that they go through, that you see, and the people that you encounter on a daily basis, working in the community and their hardships. How does the things that into perspective?
So I think I'm answering this right. So just growing up, being a teenager, my mom always had us helping, families of people anyway. I mean, it's like, even while I was fighting my breast cancer, I helped assist over 100 people fight their taxes, their homestead, taxes. So I mean, I'm always helping people. Like, I mean, it, even with, just when it's hard for me to say no. Just put it like that. So that. So it really just never changed. I mean, I continue to pray for people, want the best for everyone. If I can find them, like even right now, I mean, since I had during the process of me having cancer. I try to, give out as much information as I can. This person will help you. This nurse, I send, you don't have to go to Moody Center. You qualify for breast cancer Medicaid. So a lot of, people don't know that, but, I try to, direct people and help people however I can.
And that's what I'm saying. You're always serving. And I love that about you. And I want to talk, I do want you to give our audience just some information about some different resources that they can connect with. But before I do that, Amy, I have one question for you. Can you kind of walk us through real quick the process of a mammogram for women that haven't had one and may be scared? What I like to do. And that whole process.
Yes. So when you go into radiology and get your mammogram, of course you're going to have to undress from your top, and they're going to place your breast onto this. How can I say? It's not a table, but they're pressing it on, and you're standing and it's holding there. I can't think of the words right now. It's not coming to me, but yes. So they're going to press down from the top and the bottom of your breast and press down. They're going to get multiple images of your breast to see if they can find any lumps or anything abnormal. Does that sound about right?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm
trying to think of the proper.
Went and had a mammogram done. I remember sitting in that lobby and all of these, just every crazy thought under the sun just running through my head, and really having to calm myself down from the anxiety of the what else. So what is your recommendation? Because I'm just going to tell you, I think it's something that every female goes through.
Yeah.
When you're sitting in that lobby having to have, waiting to have that exam, you're running it all through your head. That's a mindset thing. What do you say to it?
You're being proactive. You have to kind of think of it. I'm being proactive about my health, and I'm just making sure that I'm going to do what I can to stay healthy as much as I can. It's just kind of keep a positive attitude about it. It's just something that I need to do once a year. And I hope they don't find anything. But it's not a death sentence if you do find something, but you hope that they don't. Yeah.
Lord, mine is on October 21st.
I have to get mine done this month too. Mine is on October
21st, and you want to know the words that's going to be running through my mind. Although I'm full of faith, and I just God is good, and life, as Theanne says, life is what it is. But the words that's going to be running through my mind is what you just said here not too long ago. What's on your necklace?
You got this.
You got
this.
Yes. You got it. You got this. So then. And Amy, can you guys give as a breast cancer survivor who's had access to quite a few different resources, can you tell our audience some of the resources that they can connect with to help them in their process right now?
I know a lot of people say about the Coleman, Susan
G. Coleman,
and they're good too. But what everyone needs to know, there's a lot of nonprofit, small organizations out here. The Bridge. There's a lot. I'm with I don't even know the name of it. It's kind of like Hispanic, Hispanic name that we did a walk last week. But that group right there, they helped me. And I'm be honest with you, I love the ladies. But when I went in there, I was like at the bottom of the world. I feel like, a lot of people know I think I'm 18 at times, but I was the youngest one in there at the moment. And I felt like, I'm in here with all these people, and I was just crying, but they complimented me. They showed me places and other places to go. I needed a, what's the thing for my arm? The wrap thing, the pressure.
The pressure. You talking about you talking about Cobain? No, you're not.
No, the wrap that squeeze my arm. I forgot what it's called. encounter people that need help, you know, and I donate
Mhm.
up on, you know, I don't let people know, but it's a lot of places out there. I mean, it's, you know, places, I mean, the, you know, triple negative, you know, organization. There's so many resources
Wow.
out there that a lot of people don't know of,
Mm-hmm.
you know, which I'm always sending people the information to.
So if somebody wants to connect with you, then how would they connect with you?
I mean, like one friend, she gives everyone my number. Yeah, so, I mean, I have no problem, you know, I send them the information, I check on them, you know, so yeah.
No, I'm saying tell our audience, you know, audience members who don't know you and may want to connect with you. Is there an email, a phone number, Facebook? How do they connect with you from here?
Oh, they can connect with me at N Harrington. That's my Facebook name, and my contact number is 214-803-2982.
Okay. Amy, we have 2 minutes, and I want to ask this one question. How soon does a young lady or a female need to get a what is it?
Mammogram.
I always mix up all of them M's.
At the age of 40.
At the age of 40, unless you have some.
Unless you have family history or you're already starting to
Yes.
show symptoms, then you'll go ahead and start having mammograms earlier. Yeah.
Okay.
At the age of 40 is when we get flagged.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Amy, how does someone connect with you so that they can become better educated? Because you gave us so much information, and I appreciate that. And we are going to make this presentation available to our audience so that they can have this. But how can someone connect with you?
Oh, so it would be grateful under the Grateful Expressions email. So gratefulexpressions@gmail.com.
Gratefulexpression@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
I want to thank both of you ladies for taking the time to come
Mm-hmm.
and talk with me and share your story and educate us. I have been blessed tonight. I love you. I love you.
I love you
Amy,
too.
I love you. I love you for saying yes. I appreciate you for saying yes. I thank you both for all that you do for me as well as for the community. It does not go unnoticed. And I'm just so appreciative of you. I love you both very much. I want to thank you all for joining us on tonight. Our new watchers. I want to remind you to join us every Wednesday for the rest of the month. We will be having different additional guests. We actually have someone from the Susan G. Coleman Foundation coming to join us. The National as we fight this disease, and until we find a cure, we're all in this together. I want to thank you all for watching. We love you and appreciate you.